Hello everyone, welcome to There Be Toys. Now there was just a Hasbro Pulse live stream where they revealed a whole bunch of figures that are coming out soon. Now I could probably count on one hand how many Marvel figures I have. No, that can't be true. That can't be true. That's just not possible. I don't have many though. I'm not the biggest Marvel collector. I don't watch all the movies. I watched a few things. But not many, just some of the recent things. So I don't really have very much. Now I have the Marvel Angela figure. Now if you know anything about this character, you know originally it was part of Todd McFarlane's lineup for Spawn. It was actually created by Neil Gaiman, and he actually fought to get the rights back to the character, and he won. And so it became part of Marvel. I don't know the whole story behind it. I know only a little bit. But she is now, you know, part of this Marvel team. But when I saw that the figure was released, I was really surprised, so I got it right away as soon as I saw it. I know I'm not going to know most of these characters, but there were some cool ones that I saw, so let's go over everything that is going to be coming out from Marvel Hasbro. So this first one I do know because I loved Werewolf by Night. That was so cool. They've got the regular black and white version, they've got the color version. I think I kind of liked the black and white version. It was like the very old Universal monster movie, but it was really cool. And they are coming out with Man-Thing, or Ted is what he likes to be called, from the show. Now I thought there was going to be more of that show. I don't know how that's working or whatever, but I was looking forward to like seeing more episodes or something. I really wanted to see more of this. Looks cool. I mean, it's really gigantic. I don't know how much a lot of these sell for, but I know some of them, they're up there in price a little bit. To compare to, there is the Marvel Legends Hulkbuster, which you know obviously is big, much bulkier. That is $59, so that's not cheap either for one figure, but you can see it's much bigger. It's taller, it's beefier. Then we have a Marvel 85th anniversary set. First of all, I can't even believe that. That's crazy. But it looks like a really cool set. But I don't know two of the characters. Obviously I know Doctor Doom, but I don't know Taskmaster, and I don't know Iron Patriot. I vaguely, I know some of them I vaguely know, but obviously I know Doctor Doom. Comes with some accessories. Actually, the Doom has a cloth cape, which is really cool, like a cloth robe thing. I don't know, like I don't really see a lot of cloth goods. Some people like them, some people don't, especially though with capes. I feel like some, you need cloth goods. I know people don't like them all that much, but some really need it. Some of the plastic ones, like they make the figure just fall right over. This is available on Amazon right now for pre-order. Should be in about September. 74 bucks. Not cheap. Not cheap at all. $20 a piece for 6-inch figures. You know, that's about 60 right there. So I guess so. They're not cheaping out on the looks of the character and what they're offering. So I'll say that much. Now the next character is actually comparable to that Hulkbuster, and they're calling it a Super Deluxe, and it is Odin, as I know him, Thor's father. He looks a little bit different in this form than he does in the movie, but this is a huge figure. It comes with a lot of accessories. You can take the hair off and switch out the different helmets that it comes with, and then it has different swords. It has a couple of ravens, which I think are repacks from something else. This also has a cloth cape, but it is a gigantic figure. I'm assuming it's probably going to be the same price as that Hulkbuster. It could possibly be 50, 60, I don't know, especially since they said it was a super deluxe figure. Now the pre-order for this doesn't start till June 27th at 1 p.m. on Hasbro Pulse, so it looks like that is the only way to get it right now. Now the next figure they have is Venom, and he comes with these detachable symbiote heads. Like you could do different expressions, different heads that can pop on, do different things with them. Don't have any, like I don't have Spider-Man Venom, like I don't have any of those characters. I know I've got X-Men, I know I do, that I have to, and I know that there were like mail away things at some point that I know I did. I'm sure, I think there was like a mail away Firestar figure or something like that from one of the toy magazines If you remember that, remind me. I know I do, so I know I have a few things, but I really, really don't have much. So the next figures they show there are like recapping what had come out in the past. There were X-Men done in these old retro 90s uniforms, and they did do a Wolverine figure like quite a few years ago. Then there was Gambit and Banshee and Psylocke, and now that I think of it, I'm sure I have a Banshee figure. I know that I do, because I remember the cape and everything. Unless like a friend or something had it. I know I have a Banshee figure. I'm just like convinced now that I do. I have to like look for it. And then they did Storm, Forge, and Jubilee, and I guess for the cover art that they were going for, they did have all of them except for one, which was the Warlord variation of Professor X, and we just got to see him in X-Men 97. Ooh, spoiler! If you haven't seen it, by now, I don't know what to tell you. I'm sorry, I spoiled it. But if you know, then obviously you've seen that this is Professor X, and he is dressed in this costume. So they did come out with him to go with the whole team now. So that actually is pretty cool. The next one is a set, and it's actually two figures I think we hadn't seen before made into figures. Well, one of them we had, but it is first appearance Rogue. Now, there's plenty of Rogue action figures, but I don't think there's ever been a first appearance. This is what she actually looked like in the very, very first appearance. And she comes with the character Destiny. Now, I've seen this. I don't know if there's another figure or a doll, maybe customs that people were just working. I just saw this before, like this a while ago. This was like 2 weeks ago or something like that, 3 weeks ago. And somebody either made it or customized it, and it was really good because it looks almost just like this. So these are going to be an Amazon exclusive, and they're going to be up for pre-order at some point soon, is all it says. Now, this next one I certainly know, of course, and I did have figures of her. It is Jean Grey as Phoenix, and this looks really, really cool. So she is super articulate, looks really good. I like that the hair is blowing a little bit, but then she has this huge translucent Phoenix that you can put together and make as a display base for her, which is like perfect. And they said you can put lights behind it and kind of get it to light up a little bit. The cool thing about this Phoenix too is that the base, like you can use a separate, like there's the base part, and then there's the Phoenix part, and you can put the Phoenix on that base part, but you don't have to. So you can have just the base by itself without that. I'm kind of on the fence about this one. Like I really do like this. I like the whole execution of it. It looks really, really good. So this is one I would just consider getting just because of the way it looks. All right, now here we go. Here's what I'm interested in. It is Marvel's Strange Tales, and I am really impressed with these figures. Now, again, I don't know more than like 3 characters in this, but they all look cool, and it's a build-a-figure set, and there's a lot of them, so it's going to be really difficult to not want to get all of these. Now, the first one I had not heard of, but it was Brother Voodoo, or he becomes Dr. Voodoo later on, so I guess like a flip side of Doctor Strange, and this looks really, really cool. Now, apparently you can even customize the little spot on the cape there. Like there's a little plug, and you can just pull it out, and you can change him, like, you know, from Brother Voodoo to Dr. Doodoo. You can change him from Brother Voodoo to Dr. Voodoo. Let's say that. You say it 5 times fast and see if you say like I really like it. It does come with a couple of accessories. You know, looks a little Spawnish, doesn't it? Like there's something that reminded me of Spawn about this character. It does have a little bit of that feel to it, I noticed, with the you know, white on the red and all that. Now, this is how I know I'm not that reliable on Marvel stuff. No idea that they had a Dracula character. No idea. Don't know anything about this. Didn't know. I mean, this would be completely up my alley. Had no clue that they had a Dracula figure, who he is, what the characters are. I don't know anything. This is my first time seeing him, and it looks really good. It's got swap out heads. They're talking about the sculpting of it, wanting to just make it really, really cool. It was Dwight who was talking about the reason that they made this figure is just he really liked the character and wanted to see it, which is, I really like that. I like when they sort of take a chance and just go for it. Like it's just a character that had never been made, that they really wanted to do, they just think is cool, because you know that they're going to put a lot into it. If it's something they really, really wanted to see, they're not going to skimp on it. They're going to try to make it cool because they love the character, or they just really passionate about it. So I'm really, really cool that they did this, because it looks awesome. It really looks good. And he is part of this Build-A-Figure wave. And we'll get into that in a minute, because each of them come with a separate piece. So they may not have like a whole ton of accessories. They're not like the super deluxe ones, but they each come with a Build-A-Figure piece. So the next one in this series is Hellverine. I don't know why I'm like laughing when I want to say like Benverine. I don't know why I'm thinking it's nothing to do with that, but it's just, I don't know, because you're used to hearing Wolverine, then you hear Hellverine, and I don't know why I'm thinking Benverine. It did not make sense at all. But I'd never heard of this character. You know, people say it's like a Ghost Rider sort of mashup. With the flaming skull, Wolverine mask, and the claws. I know that some people don't like the pin bodies versus the unpinned bodies. So this one has the pins in it. I guess you could see them and everything. So some people aren't really liking that very much. So I know it is a kind of a repack. But for me, I know nothing about this character. So for me, it's new. But clearly, if you want the Build-A-Figure, you would have to get this. And if you already have it, or you don't really like it, you don't like the pins or whatever, then you're kind of stuck with it. So I could understand that, right? Now, the next one is Bloodstorm. And it is Storm, who is a vampire. No clue again. And I'm in. I'm so in. I had no idea. And I absolutely want this. I know I have a couple of Storm action figures. I was getting them even back in the day. I might have had those from back in the day. I can't recall. But I know I have a few. And this looks cool. Again, she's got swap out heads. You can see the fangs and everything. They made sure to really show that so that you can see the fangs. This looks like a really cool action figure. She's part of this set. And the next character you might have seen before, if you're a fan, is Daimon Hellstrom. And he was actually one of the figures that was going to be offered as a stretch goal with the HasLab Ghost Rider Engine of Vengeance. And that did not get funded. It fell pretty short of its goal of 9,000. It only got about halfway there. It looked really cool. I mean, it had the light up tires and had this figure. And I think they revealed these add-ons like a little later on. I can't remember. This is from a while ago. But they're supposed to be Goblin Queen, and she was a little bit more, you know, true to the comics than the one that had been out recently, showing more of a midriff and everything. And I guess because it was HasLab, they could do that. Now this appears to be the same one that was shown then. It doesn't look all that different, maybe a little different in the face or something like that. I'm not sure, but it's got these butterfly joints. Like you can do like really good poses with them. Again, never even seen this character, but looks awesome. I mean, he's got like this smolder to him, and for a toy is strange. When I saw it, I was like, oh Jesus, what character is this? I missed. Now this next one really interested me the most. Didn't know anything about her. Her name is Lilith. Now there's a lot of characters named Lilith in cartoons, movies, TV shows, like that, you name it. There's like tons of Lilith characters. But she looked really cool, and I know a lot of people were commenting about it. She just looked very, very different. She kind of reminds me a little bit of that Hallows Eve figure, like just a little, like tiny, tiny bit. Like they would look good together or something like that, like side by side. They have some kind of, they have the same energy, right? They have the same crazy Halloween energy. So when I saw this, I'm like, wow, I want that one. I want the Daimon figure, but like the rest of them look so cool too. So why wouldn't I get them all to like do the Build-A-Figure with them? The one that also I really want, because I did watch this show when it was on Disney Plus, is Moon Knight. Now, I know this is like the comic version, not the live action version, but I really liked it. I would love this figure. So this is yet another one that I would get. And of course, it comes with the Build-A-Figure piece. So it's like, well, if you've already got 3, why wouldn't you just get the whole set, right? Like, I'm like crazy. I don't know if everybody does that, but like that makes sense. You might as well get them. And they all do look cool to me. And I don't have a Moon Knight figure, so why not? I would like rather just have them all if I could do that and then get the Build-A-Figure with it. Plastic cape, not a cloth cape, which is like, ugh, okay, but it's got to have, you know, the 2 colors. So I mean, I guess that's all right, but it's got a lot of little accessories with it. So that's like one of the things they were talking about, like they could lose them all. They had them on a piece of tape so that they didn't lose them, and they're very, very tiny. So the Build-A-Figure that you make with this is the character Blackheart, and he stands actually much taller than the other figures, so they put like a side-by-side comparison, and he's probably like about an inch or so taller than them. And you can do that obviously because you have to build it, so you can get away with making chunkier figures or taller figures, and you get like an important character with it. So I like that they're doing this with it, and I mean, it looks cool. I mean, doesn't look like there's any paint washing or any. It looked like just the flat one color figure. Maybe there's a little bit up in like where the hair area is, and then of course the eyes, but it looks like it's really, really super articulated. And I know a lot of these, they were talking about the articulation. You get a lot of articulation out of these. So this whole set goes up for pre-order at 1 o'clock Eastern Standard Time on June 20th. So they're going to be up on Hasbro Pulse. It looks like that. Again, it's the only way to get this set in particular. So June 20th, 1 p.m. Eastern Time is when you're going to want to be on there. So the last thing was a tease of this figure. They showed this gun that had like the blast effect to it. Of course, I have no idea. No clue. I'm lost. So if anybody knows what character this is going to be, comment down below. Let me know. I have no idea. So I'm trying to keep up on all of these things coming out. There's just so much coming out. No clue who this character is. Again, I'm so not good on Marvel, and I'm sure you know who it is if you follow Marvel. So I'd like to see like who it is. But this is a lot. This was an absolute lot. I was shocked by this, and I was shocked that I really like that Build-A-Figure wave. I really want that wave, and I don't know. I'm like, why did this have to be before Comic-Con? Because I know Comic-Con's going to come. There's going to be exclusives, right? We know this is going to happen, and I can't spend the money. I just don't have it. You know? So I'm like waiting. I'm like, man, I want to wait till Comic-Con to see what's coming out or what exclusives there are. So I know, like, I'm prepared, especially with like the Mondo Ghostbusters. I know I want those for sure. I know I want them. So, and then there was the Batman Forever series. I just read that they were going to release those through Target as well. They weren't through Target originally, but I think I read something that said starting July, they will have them available through Target. Anyway, that is all for now. Let me know in the comments below. Are you getting any of these? Are you excited about any of these? Do you know these characters? Because obviously I'm lost about it all. And just give this video a like if you enjoyed it. If not, I will try more next time, and we'll hopefully have something more exciting. But it's exciting to see this because I again, some of these things I'm getting to know, some of it I know a little bit about, but they hooked me. They hooked me with that one series. So I'm hoping like we get a lot more of that kind of thing. Weird out there stuff. Like, let's not just do the same characters over and over again. So I will see you all next time.